Welcome to the Operation Smooth podcast. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the first day of the 2026 free agency period and the things that the New York Jets have done in this. The Jets, Darren Muji, the general manager, coming out swinging, coming out aggressively, and the Jets are basically, like fighter jets, just dropping missiles all over the enemy, so to speak. Let's start with the big acquisition. The Miami Dolphins sent Minka Fitzpatrick to the New York Jets in exchange for a 2026 seventh round pick, which is a pick that Miami had acquired from the Los Angeles Chargers. Simply put, the New York Jets got Minka Fitzpatrick, and the Miami Dolphins basically got a box of Girl Scout cookies, the Tagalog Girl Scout cookies. Now, Minka Fitzpatrick, 29 years old, I believe, and if memory serves me correct, he is a five-time Pro Bowler. The Jets signed him to a 3-year, $40 million deal. You may have overpaid a little bit for Fitzpatrick, but I really don't think that that's the case. You do have a five-time Pro Bowler, had a lot of success with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the Steelers defense. In some ways, I believe that will reunite him with Carl Dunbar, who is the new Jets defensive line coach, even though Micah Fitzpatrick is not going to play, obviously, the defensive line. But what you have there is a leader in the secondary, again, a five-time Pro Bowler. So anybody on the Jets secondary, be it the safeties or the cornerbacks, they would be absolute morons to not listen to Minka Fitzpatrick. Yes, he is not at the level at that he might have been, but he is still a very, very good safety. Should be obviously an upgrade over Andre Cisco. I don't know if Andre Cisco will play next season. Obviously, he was out with the torn pec. Also, that's going to provide more mentorship for Malachi Moore. Malachi Moore was a bright spot in an otherwise absolutely horrific 2025 New York Jets defense. So Minka Fitzpatrick, a massive upgrade. Again, a multi-time Pro Bowler. So listen, the Jets, they're going to get interceptions next year. That's for sure. And whoever gets an interception in 2026 just might as well make a statue of him outside of MetLife. Now, on the other hand, and I will get to every free agent that the Jets have acquired. Also, a couple of ones that left. John Simpson, the left guard who put in a couple of good years. Well, not so much last year, but he did have a good year in 2024. He is returning to the Baltimore Ravens on a 3-year, $30 million deal. Also, there was a rumor, I saw an article that supposedly often off injured left guard Elijah Vera Tucker is looking for a change of scenery. So he is allegedly trying to look for a new team. If that's the case, look, no hard feelings. Best of luck to Elijah Vera Tucker. Unfortunately, Vera Tucker was injured way too much, and I think that this will be the right move for him and the Jets. So the Jets will probably be looking for a new left guard in 2026. I don't know what the market is for left guards in free agency. I would assume more than likely in the later rounds, the Jets will be looking for a left guard, and again, maybe a kind of a lower end, a starting left guard in free agency. Again, I don't know the dynamics of the left guard market, but obviously the Jets are going to look for that to complete the offensive line, which at this point is basically 80% ready to go. So hopefully they can get a high quality left guard in maybe the second or third round of this year's draft. Then another bit of news. The Jets also signed former Cincinnati pass rusher Joseph Osai, who's had 14 and a half sacks in 4 years with the Cincinnati Bengals. I believe this young man is 25 years old, so a lot of potential there. Believe it's a 1-year deal, and it's basically a prove it deal. So no, nothing too risky there. Joseph Asai is best remembered for the late hit on Patrick Mahomes in the 2022 AFC title game, which was the rematch of the previous year's title game in which Cincinnati won to go to the Super Bowl. This time out, that roughing the passer penalty ended up costing Cincinnati a chance to go to the Super Bowl for the second year in a row. And in a lot of ways, the Cincinnati Bengals have not recovered from that AFC title game loss. Joseph Asai took a lot of blame for that. A lot of his teammates did stick up for him. Props to them. So a more weapons in the defensive line, some new blood in the defensive line, which is I think something the Jets needed right now. So you've got Tavondre Sweat, you've got Harrison Phillips, you have the young man Jawan Briggs from that we acquired from the Cleveland Browns, and now you have Joseph Osai also. And then you've still got Will McDonald if he's going to play the defensive line in the 3-4, which I would not expect that to happen. Also, the Jets signed former defensive end from the Green Bay Packers, Kingsley Egnagbare, I believe that's how his name is pronounced. So he is a 26-year-old who had 11 and a half sacks in 4 seasons with Green Bay. I believe from what I've been hearing, he is more of a run stopping defensive end, which obviously you can never go wrong with a run stopping defensive end. So I'm assuming that him and Joseph Osai will switch. And then obviously you're looking at the Jets drafting a defensive end maybe on the other side with the second pick in the draft, be it Ruben Bain, be it Arvell Reese, or be it David Bailey. So the Jets are pretty much going to have a completely brand new defensive line on top of the fact that they're going to go into a 3-4 scheme. So really the only holdovers are going to be Harrison Phillips and uh, Jawan. So uh, they the Jets are starting over with Carl Dunbar, and hopefully these players, uh, Joseph Asai and Egnakbare, will fit the 3-4 scheme. I'm assuming that the Jets have scouted these young men and they fit the new 3-4 scheme. Uh, the other big one, I'm loving this. Linebacker Demario Davis is coming back the third time around, and hopefully, third time will be the charm. He is signing with the Jets on a 2-year, $22 million deal, 15 million fully guaranteed. He is 37 years old, but no one can question Demario Davis's durability in his years with the Jets and in his years with the Saints. Again, just like Minka Fitzpatrick, Demario Davis, a multi-time Pro Bowler, and I'm gonna be honest, he is going to be an upgrade over Quincy Williams, who left to go to the Cleveland Browns. Best of luck to Quincy Williams, but we've got the old dog back, Demario Davis. So you're gonna have leadership on the secondary with Minka Fitzpatrick and leadership with Demario Davis. Again, the linebacking core of the New York Jets, the other linebackers, they will be absolute idiots to not listen to the knowledge that Demario Davis is going to bring. So Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji building the defense. One bit of bad news on the free agent front. Kicker Nick Folk is going to sign a 2-year deal with the Atlanta Falcons. So that is going to be a position of need. We all know the importance of kickers in football, and I really wish that the Jets would have been able to keep Nick Folk. I'm gonna keep it honest. I was a fan of Pat Leahy back when I was a kid. He wore number 5. He was the Jets kicker from 1974 to 1991. But I will say Nick Folk is the greatest Jets kicker in the franchise's history, with all due respect to Pat Leahy. We all know that Nick Folk has won many a game for the Jets over the years. Also, the Jets agreed to terms with defensive tackle David Onyemata, 33 years old, from the Atlanta Falcons. So basically, Folk is going to the Falcons. On Mayada is coming to the Jets. It's going to be a 1-year, $10.5 million deal, 9.65 fully guaranteed. If you saw some videos last season after the Jets beat the Falcons, uh, Onyemata came up to Aaron Glenn and was thankful to him for everything that Aaron Glenn did for him. So obviously there's a personal relationship there. Uh, so I'm not expecting Onyemata to be John Randall or anything like that, but that adds another layer of depth. So the Jets are going to have 4 defensive tackles. It's going to be Harrison Phillips, Tavondre Sweat, Jawan Briggs, and then David Onyemata. So you have a lot of depth at the defensive tackle position. So you won't have guys playing every snap, which is a good thing. All right. Also, I mentioned the aforementioned Quincy Williams. He leaves the Jets. He's going to sign a 2-year deal with for $17 million with the Cleveland Browns. Best of luck to him. And well, last but not least, the Jets adding more depth to the secondary. They are signing former Giant safety Dane Belton. It's going to be just a 1-year deal, $4 million, with upside of 6 million. Belton 240 career tackles, 4 sacks, 6 career picks, and 4 forced fumbles and 4 fumble recoveries. I'm going to be really honest. I up until today I had no idea who Dane Belton was, but uh, looks like he's done some good things here with the Giants. 240 career tackles. So hey, got to give props to Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji. They are building this new 3-4 defense in Aaron Glenn's image. Obviously, Aaron Glenn, it's his superpower to call defensive plays, so he'll be calling the defense. We'll see what happens with the new defensive line coach, Carl Dunbar. I made a video about Carl Dunbar a few weeks ago. So this Jets defense on paper and in theory should be much, much improved from the absolutely horrific defense that the Jets had in 2025. Couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass, could not cover anybody, could not get interceptions, 0 interceptions throughout um, 2025. They couldn't stop a nosebleed and they couldn't stop anything else. Again, in theory, this defense should be a lot better. Having said that, the 2025 defense of the New York Jets set the bar so low. I mean, even a turtle could jump over the bar that the 2025 Jets defense set. So, Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji basically gutting the defense, and rightfully so because of how bad it was in 2025. So, you're going to have a lot of new starters, a lot of new faces on defense in 2026, along with the new defensive scheme. So, don't expect the 1977 Orange Crush defense of the Denver Broncos. Don't expect the Grits Blitz. You certainly shouldn't expect the 85 Bears or anything like that, or the 1976 Pittsburgh Steelers. This group, it's going to take time for them to gel, and obviously you got the OTAs, and it really doesn't matter until preseason and then the regular season. So we'll see maybe towards midseason and maybe towards the end of 2026 how good that defense is. But listen, you got to give props to Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji for retooling and essentially getting rid of the Robert Sala, Adam Gase regime and filling them in with new players who should be motivated, hopefully, to play great football for the New York Jets and hopefully get the Jets to at least 7 wins this year. So those are my thoughts on the first day of New York Jets free agency in 2026. We will see what happens next. Let's see rumors about Brian Thomas, the wide receiver from Jacksonville. Maybe the Jets might trade for him. We'll see. And also, we'll see what happens with Brees Hall. He made some comments about all the money that the Jets are slinging around. And, there's some undercover stuff there. If that's actually Brees Hall that's actually saying that. So we'll see. So until next time, this is the Operation Smooth podcast, and I am out.